Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the F5 Weekend Refresh. We've got some really interesting stories today and some cool updates to talk about. Please make sure to hit the like button if you're enjoying the video and subscribe to us for more weekly gaming videos. With all of that being said, let's dive right in here. Starting things off today, developer Soul Challenger has recently released some high-octane footage of their upcoming survivor horror game. The game is posted under the topic of driving survival, but it appears as though it's titled TRG in all of the gameplay videos. I'm sure it's a working title for right now, and I have no idea what the game will truly be called when it releases, but it's a great spin on classic survival games. Normally when you think of horror games, it involves cheap jump scares and terrible voice acting, but this game isn't focused on the normal aspects at all. This game is entirely centered around driving your car to escape crazy killers. It really reminds me of a The Hills Have Eyes type environment, and even the faces of the killers resemble the spooky guys from the movie. Hopefully this game picks up as production goes on, and we can see some really cool stuff pretty soon here. In a very short video this week, 343 Industries showed a little teaser for Halo 5 Guardians. It's mostly just a quick 20-second trailer where they show the muzzle of the Halo Reach grenade launcher, so maybe we'll have that coming to the game in the near future, which would be absolutely awesome. Some brand new information on Persona 5 has revealed that the game is being pushed back yet again. Having originally been set to release all the way back in 2014, the game has now been pushed from February 2017 to April 4th of 2017. That being said, in order to make up for the incredible delays, Atlus has said that the game will feature dual audio, which will allow players to enjoy either English or Japanese with subtitles. The dual audio will be a DLC, but it's going to be completely free for all players. Hopefully the community won't be too upset about this. I mean, the game has already been pushed back 3 years, so it's a couple more months. Right now, Gareth Born, designer of No Man's Sky, is working for Foundry 42, which is the company behind Squadron 42. If you don't know what Squadron 42 is, it's basically a single-player module for Star Citizen that was supposed to be released in 2016, but ended up getting delayed until 2017. The game will be a 3-part series, so 2 more chapters will be coming after the release of the first game. Since it's been in production for so long, Born might not be working on the first game, but they may have picked him up to start working on the next 2 installments. Hopefully Born can come out and make a much more successful title here. No Man's Sky was far from being a hit, and it would look pretty good for his career if he turned things around quickly. Apparently Foundry 42 made him an incredible offer to come work for them, so I can't really blame him for leaving. A new promotion by Blizzard is giving players access to a new Oni skin for Genji on Overwatch. In order to unlock it, you must play 15 games of Heroes of the Storm with a friend. Since this is a MOBA, games tend to be quite long. If you were to queue up in a regular public match against humans, a game will take from 20 to 30 minutes. Well, people have found a much more efficient way to save time and get in all of your games. The way to get the new skin so quickly is by playing bot games. If you can find 4 friends to play with, the 5 of you can set up a match to play against entry-level bots. If the 5 of you rush one lane against the AI, you should be able to win in about 4 to 5 minutes. That's about an hour of gameplay compared to the 5 to 6 hours it would take you if you played real matches against humans. Continuing on with the Blizzard news, there was a podcast recorded with Chris Metzen that discussed his decision to retire. A lot of what Metzen says is eye-opening. Specifically, he mentions having panic attacks with a heaping side of self-doubt. He was hounded by the sense that if what Blizzard makes isn't perfect, then it isn't good enough. Add all of that with the failure of Project Titan and the arrival of a new baby, and retirement is the only sane choice. Metzen is 42 years old, and the pressure of making video games wore him out mentally, emotionally, and physically, and I bet this story isn't unique to just him. This is another sign that there is far too much unfair pressure on game developers. It takes a ton of work to build a loyal fan base, and it takes even more to keep it. It doesn't help matters that the more vocal fans just happen to be whiny and ungrateful. People are constantly complaining about games and then continue to play them. The developers know what the problems are, and they work every day to try to fix them for their fans. By adding all the pressure in forums and by just screaming complaints in-game, the developers will eventually lose their minds trying to please everybody. As of late, certain companies have been getting in trouble on YouTube, as they have been paying video producers to make content about their game, either giving them early access or outright commanding them to say positive things. Now, most good YouTubers would clarify either in the comments or in the video that this was a sponsored video and that money was involved. There were still a select few YouTubers that decided against informing the community, which meant that paid advertisements were slipping into YouTube under the guise of fan-made content. EA, however, has recently revealed on its German blog that it will be taking that extra step forward to increase transparency and stop anyone from confusing fan content with purchase content, with the introduction of new hashtags and watermarks, which they will ensure shows up on all future videos they play a part in. This will prevent false reviews and make the community much more informed before they decide to make or not make their purchase. Well, Ubisoft has been making some headlines this week for a couple of reasons, mainly due to Watch Dogs 2. The first reason Watch Dogs is all over the internet is because the game actually shows full nudity of both male and female NPCs. You can be walking through a park and stumble upon a group of nudists just jumping all around. I have no idea why this was added into the game, as it doesn't play a role in the experience whatsoever, but I guess people have been talking about it. There was even a pretty explicit picture that was circling the internet, but that has since been removed from the game. The other major thing that's been all over the place for Watch Dogs is the fact that the seamless multiplayer was having a really hard time starting up. It wasn't working, and Ubisoft actually came out and made a statement about how hard they were working to fix it. They said it might be fixed as soon as today, but it looks like it's still not working. I don't know when they plan on having everything fixed up, but just sleep easy knowing that they're working on getting it to you as soon as possible. Aside from actual game news, Ubisoft is still making headlines. They've recently gotten into trouble for illegal insider trading. In 2013, Ubisoft Montreal CEO Yannis Malott and 4 other executives were caught selling a huge amount of their stocks. Normally this is fine, but a week later Ubisoft ended up delaying The Crew and Watch Dogs for an entire year. By pushing these games back, the stocks for Ubisoft dropped about 25%, and what these executives did suddenly became extremely illegal. Ubisoft itself hasn't been charged, but the 5 executives have been, and we're going to have to see where this one ends up going. Finally, we're wrapping things up today by talking about the League of Legends Pro players asking for some extra cash and benefits. The League of Legends pros really don't get paid that much money unless they're on a fantastic team and consistently win tournaments. Even then, I think the tournament pay should be a bit higher, but others will disagree with that. Basically, the esports community in Europe and North America wrote a letter saying that they wanted more job security, fair compensation, less restrictions for sponsors, and longer career opportunities for players. A lot of these players can probably quit and just end up streaming for the rest of their careers. They'll make a ton of money, some even more than they would have made in the professional scene. Hopefully Riot listens, but in my experience, they tend to not care all that much about their community. Riot will most likely go to the big companies that own the teams and do whatever they want. Riot doesn't want to upset any of the bigger companies, and in this situation, the players are very expendable. If they don't want to play, they can leave, and teams will just pick up some more guys out of the rank queue. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of these. Maybe even leave a comment down below if you want to share some of your own opinions on these stories. Until next time, this is AS Unreal, and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah.